Hey guys, it's Christian Senior back from CNH Small again for another informative review video. This one deals with vepr 12 because what I have from me right here is one of my modified vepr 12s. What I'm going to be talking about specifically in this video is muzzle brakes. And the muzzle brake I originally got in this gun here I think about 3 or 4 years back. This is a GK01 version of the muzzle brakes. This one right here, I originally thought when I first got it, it was made by Molot. However, it's made by ME Military Equipment in Ukraine because apparently they have different versions of the GK01 out there, and I originally did not know that a few years back. And they make 2 different versions of these ones. They make the 4 gilled one, and they make the 5 gilled muzzle brake. The 5 gilled one is made by ME, called Military Equipment in Ukraine, and the original Molot one only has 4 gills on the back rear facing side. So that's what I have on the gun currently right now. And there's the bottom, there's the right side right there for the dissipation for the shooting, because these things tend to be like thrown up and over to the right whenever you're shooting at it. So they have 3 ports on the right hand side to minimize that, plus you have the 3 big holes on the top right there to basically keep the gun nice and flat while you're shooting. And also you have the 5 gills on the back facing you, so it's basically directing some of the spent gas away from the barrel end on it, so it basically pulls the gun forwards a bit to basically minimize the recoil being kicked back at you for that. And today I finally got another muzzle brake that I really wanted to try on these guns. This is a this one right here. This is a GK02. Here's the right side right there as well too. There's the top down. There's the other side, and there we go back again. The difference, the reason I got, or I should say the difference I got for this one was, and the reasoning behind it was, this one is the redesigned GK02. This one, it's an upgrade from the GK01. This is the original Molot brake. As I said before, the original GK01 was made by Molot, and the one I currently have in my gun is made by ME Military Equipment in Ukraine. And I originally got this one because a buddy of mine, he put one, or he brought his gun to me and I put it on his gun, and he wanted to basically try it out because the actual redesigned portion they have on here from the different brakes, the GK01 has a noticeably more slanted brakes, or more slanted gill slits on the back. Because this one right here, the gill slits are they're actually enlarged, and they're more like a half moon bellowed. They're enlarged and bellowed in shape, and the actual angle from once the gas comes out the side is also decreased, right? Having a real steep angle as opposed to one I have right now for my gun originally here. This one has the angles are quite steep on here. It's basically, I don't know what you want to call it, but they're quite steep on the angle portion right there for that. And this one right here, even though it has only 4 gill slits on the sides right here, they're noticeably at a I want to call more straight angle as opposed to them being real steep. Because the GK01, the military one, ME, they're basically like that. Where this one right here, the gill slits are more angled out away from the actual brake like that, so they're also fatter on the actual gill area as well too. So it only has 4, this one has 5, but the main difference is the way that the gill slits are actually designed on this specific one right here for that. And by having the gill slits designed like this, it allows more of a volume of gas to be directed back on a slighter angle right there for that. Because the problem is, if you look straight down inside the actual the bore of the whole brake right here, you'll notice that the gill areas, you can barely see it through them on the original one right here. I should say, this one right here, if you look straight down from the back towards the front, you can barely notice the actual gill slits because of their extreme angle right here for that. And this one right here, the GKO2, the redesigned original Molot made by Mr. Ilian over there in Russia. The actual angle is a lot less on there as opposed to the GKO1, the actual clone or the licensed copy they have. But this one, the original manufacturer one here, is a lot better angled out, so it has a lot more volume of air that'll be able to go out on a less of an angle. By doing that, you have more airflow, plus you have more of a chance to reduce the actual recoil for that as well too. It's basically the almost the same weight as the ME GKO1 version right there for that. The only difference that I've seen personally right here is the redesign of the actual gill area right here for that. As I said before, they did redesign this gill area right in the back here. And as I said before, I took it to a range, and me and my buddy went up to the range up there, and we put some buckshot and some slugs to the gun. And I say on average, with this one right here, as opposed to the ME version, right, the ME5 gilled version right here, it felt like the recoil was maybe reduced about maybe up to about 20%. And also, we actually were like, standing back and see how much actual gas gets blown out. This one right here, the actual gas being directed back at a wider angle, I should say. It was noticeably more gas being blown back right here for that, because if you got bigger holes and the holes are like more of a bellowed area, they're enlarged and they're of a better angle, you have more chances of the actual exhaust gas being pushed out to the side right there for that, so you have more of an opportunity to decrease the recoil of your gun when you're shooting it out there for that. Because if you compare it with this one right here, as I said before, the gills are quite steep on here, which basically makes them less have the ability to shoot back gas towards you, but on an angle, so it provides a slightly less recoil advantage right there for that, as opposed to the newer revised GKO1 right here for that as well too, guys. So overall, it's a quality unit. It's as I said before, it's slightly better than the one I got in my gun right now, the GKO1 5 gilled muzzle brake from ME Military Equipment Ukraine. But this is an original Molot GKO2 with the redesigned gills in the back for a greater compensation of the recoil overall. So overall, I'm highly satisfied with the item right here for that. As I said before, I stuck one of these on my buddy's gun, and I did notice the recoil, so it definitely works better than the one I currently have in my gun right here for that. So I give it 2 thumbs up, guys. And if you're looking for some kind of a I'm going to call rating between the two, because I haven't seen any online or any on YouTube about dealing with this actual specific thing, because I went on YouTube and I looked for probably about a half an hour, and nobody actually had a comprehensive review between this one right here and the one I currently have on my shotgun right now, because there just wasn't any reviews out there. There was people who actually had the 5 gilled one or the 4 gilled one, or they had this one on their gun, and nobody had a side-by-side comparison of try to compare and contrast the difference between them. So that's why I was making mine right now, because it's always a good idea to try to give somebody some kind of advice about what you want to get right there for that. So if anybody's in the market looking around for something like that, just feel free to leave me a message here if you have any questions, comments, whatnot about this brake or the one I currently have on the gun right now. For reference, the one I got in my gun right now, before I said it's a GKO1 made by ME. It has the 5 gilled one on here. This is the 5 gilled version. This is not the 4 gilled one. And this new one I got right now today, which is the GKO2 made by Molot, and this is the upgraded 4 gilled one with the improved and bellowed gills in the back for more recoil reduction as well too, guys. So that's my review, and it provides better reduction of recoil. I'd say probably by maximally about 20. I'd say between 15 and 20%, depending on what kind of load you're shooting at for that, because it seems to help the gun a lot better if you're shooting like a high power heavy loads out there for that. But that's my personal opinion, because I normally use my shotguns for like 00 buck or shooting wolf rifled slugs out there all the time for target shooting as well too, guys. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whether or not, just feel free to leave me a message here, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible about any differences of styles of these brakes out there for that, guys. So I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.